Yeah, you effing with some wet-ass P-word. As a sympathetic human being, I just want to make sure these ladies get the care they need. Hold up. Wet-ass P-word. Spit in my mouth, look in my eyes. Spit in my mouth. Spit in my mouth.
A couple weeks ago, I posted a video about the royal family, and during that video, I reacted to Ben Shapiro talking and critiquing the royal family and Meghan and Harry's decisions and all of that, but what a lot of people, myself included, took away from that video is that when you slow Ben Shapiro down to half speed, he sounds drunk as hell.
A prince, grew up a prince, was shielded from his own idiocy for literally years. Remember, Prince Harry was a guy.
One of the biggest requests I got after that video was for more drunk Ben Shapiro. So for today's video, I am going to be looking at some of Ben Shapiro's very interesting takes on the LGBT community and slowing him down to half speed so that we can see Ben Shapiro as not a real threat to LGBT progress, but instead as just that drunk uncle that we can ignore when he comes to Thanksgiving every year. So stick around because Ben Shapiro is gonna get drunk as shit with us. Let's do it!
Hit you some nuts.
There was lots of memes.
Makes me wonder if I should take up lesbianism.
Chicago.
You guys asked for it.
What's up, my fellow small business supporters? I'm Savvy. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome to my channel for the first time. Today, we're going to be doing makeup while we react to Ben Shapiro. So today, here's what I'm going to be using. I got this new Blue Moon palette from ColourPop. So I got these colors and I think they're very pretty. And then shout out to my friend Amanda, who is starting a channel right now. I don't know if her channel is out yet, but if it is, I'll link it below. But she sent me this whole recommendation of all of these makeup brushes I should buy because I had no idea what to even get. So I just got these brushes from ones that she recommended me. So I'm going to try these out while we talk about Ben Shapiro hating the lesbians and hating everyone. Quick warning, content warning for this video. There's going to be a lot of discussions of homophobia and transphobia. There's going to be a lot of actual homophobia and transphobia coming from Ben Shapiro. I haven't watched these videos ahead of time so that we can react to them live and react to him being a drunk fuck. So for this video, I went on YouTube and I searched for the following. Ben Shapiro gay. In my analytics, Ben Shapiro gay is one of the top search terms that brings people to my channel, along with classically Abby gay and Hank Green bi. I've noticed that a lot of people like to speculate on other sexual orientation and end up finding my channel instead where I do no such thing, so that's kind of hilarious. Ben Shapiro destroys transgenderism and pro-abortion arguments. So the context for this is that someone in the audience at this talk that he's giving, this person asked, do you think that trans women are just men pretending to be women? And this person is in favor of trans rights who had asked that. She was basically asking, like, Ben Shapiro, how can you make these arguments when you then can turn around and say, oh, trans women are just men pretending, or something like that. So now we're going to listen to Ben drunkenly stumble through his response. Take it away.
Okay, I said a boy who thinks he's a girl. That's the usual phraseology I use. Not playing. I usually say a boy who thinks he's a girl.
Okay, can we talk about Ben Shapiro saying phraseology while he sounds so drunk? He's like, that's the phraseology.
The idea that sex or gender are malleable is not true. Okay, and I am not denying your humanity if you're a transgender person. I am saying that you are not the sex to which you claim to be.
So far, he's done nothing to destroy the argument. All he's done is say, you're not this sex, which again, that's like a straw man. A lot of people I remember were trying to defend J.K. Rowling. Remember when J.K. Rowling was being a huge TERF, which is literally always, so why am I like, remember when? When has she ever not been? A lot of people were like, all she's saying is that sex is real. Why do trans people want to deny that sex is real? When literally they don't. Like literally every trans person you talk to will be like, yeah, the whole point is that, you know, the gender identity we have and pieces of our biological sex don't match, and that is why we are transitioning, right? So it's like, it's such a straw man. I'll even link some videos below by some trans creators that I really like. And they're basically always like, yeah, no one ever said sex wasn't real. I never said that. I don't even believe that. So like, this is just such a straw man argument made up to make it seem like they're have nothing important to say, when in reality he's just misrepresenting what the entire point is. Oh, this concealer shade is good. I like this a lot, actually.
But if you are going to dictate to me that I'm supposed to pretend that men are women and women...
Ben Shapiro, I pretend that you're smart every day. Why not just do it for their sake, you know? I'll try to educate you and explain to you why you should believe it. I will do that all day long. But even if at the end of the day you don't, like you said, you don't want to deny anyone's humanity. So just for the sake of being nice to people, like just for the sake of being a nice person, why don't you just pretend? Like, just to be nice. I don't see why that has to be so hard.
I'm saying that the Boy Scouts have a standard. You must be a biological boy to be a Boy Scout.
Is that even in the rules? I remember asking that, like, when I was a kid, right? I wanted to join the Boy Scouts because my brother's Boy Scout troop was really fun, and my Girl Scout troop never did that much. If you were in my Girl Scout troop as a kid and you're watching, I apologize. I hope that didn't offend you in any way. I wanted to join the Boy Scouts, and people would be like, well, the Boy Scouts is for if you're a boy. And I was like, does it say that in the rules? And everyone was like, come on, Savvy. But back when I was a kid, that was a lot more before we were getting into any kind of discussion about, like, why gender segregation is stupid and how gender is like such a fluctuating thing. So does it even say in the Boy Scouts rulebook that you have to be a biological boy? And what does it even mean to be a biological boy? Again, because that's the thing. Does it mean you have a penis? Is that what it means? Because like there are biological boys out there who have a penis who don't have an XY chromosome, who have an XX chromosome. This has been found to happen before. There are cases where there are, people born with an XY chromosome who are born without a penis, but who might have like, an intersex condition. Like there's just so many factors at play here that it's really not as simple as he's trying to make it out to be. So I just think it's a little bit ridiculous that he's trying to be like, you have to be a biological boy. Like, what does that mean? And I know a lot of people are like, it means that when you're born, you have a penis, but like, is that what it means? Is that the only thing that makes someone male? Because then like, what if you lose your genitalia in some kind of accident? Are you no longer a real man or woman anymore? What if you have to get your sex organs removed for a disease or an operation? Are you no longer a real man or woman? Like, what does that mean? What does that mean to anybody? I don't get it, and Ben Shapiro, for someone who destroys the argument, is not doing a very good job of explaining it. But then again, he is drunk.
You have to be a boy to be a Boy Scout.
Where's that written?
In the name Boy Scouts.
Dude, why is everyone acting like that's some huge own? It's written in the name Boy Scouts. I'm wearing a necklace right now that says soft boy. Does that mean it's now officially written that I am a biological male?
Have you ever met a man or a woman? They're completely different.
Have you ever met a man or a woman? They're completely different. How? I hate when people act like something is obvious. This is actually, I believe, this is the logical fallacy begging the question. So this is the logical fallacy called begging the question, which is an informal fallacy that occurs when an argument's premises assume the truth of the conclusion instead of supporting it. So example, the statement, green is the best color because it is the greenest of all colors, right? So like this is a logical fallacy where he's treating the question of what is a man and what is a woman as if it's already been answered. And he says men are men and women are women because men are more male and women are more female, but he's not defining any of these terms and he's not using any supporting evidence. I really hate when people do this, when they come out here and are like, come on, you know why, this is obvious. This is like, back when I was a kid, I for a long time, like, have been arguing since early childhood that gender segregation in bathrooms is stupid. And this is one of the things I've always been right on, and I'm kind of proud of that. That like, when I've argued this in the past, a lot of people have been like, Savvy, this is stupid. At least now it's kind of coming into public consciousness and people are talking about it more. But when I was a kid and would say this, people would be like, Savvy, you can't have different genders in the same bathroom. And I would say, why? Explain to me why. And their answer would be like, come on, Savvy, stop playing dumb. And I think what a lot of people don't get is that I literally never play dumb. That's not a thing that I do. Maybe I just am dumb. I will accept that. But I pretty much, if I have a question for somebody, I'm always meaning that question genuinely. So Ben Shapiro is engaging in the fallacy of begging the question here, where he's talking about men are men and women are women. Therefore, their trans people are not really the man or woman that they say they are. And it's like, that's not an argument. That is just treating a conclusion as if it is a given, when in reality, you haven't said anything to support that.
Let's talk gay marriage, sure. You're not big on gay marriage.
No, I'm not not on a social level. I think the government ought to be completely out of the business of marriage. I think the government sucks at everything. Is my short message for today. The government is terrible at everything.
This is one thing Ben Shapiro and I can agree on. The government is terrible at everything. I completely agree. So the point he's making here on the surface, I have seen pieces of this video before, so I know where he's kind of going with this. The point he's making on the surface makes sense, which is that the government sucks at regulating anything, so the government shouldn't be regulating marriage at all. And if you're going to apply that across the board, if you're going to apply that and say, like, doesn't matter if you're in a different gender relationship, a same gender relationship, whatever, the government should not be regulating your marriage. If you're going to say that to be true across the board, okay, I can accept that. I can accept that because I agree that the government sucks at everything. However, when he goes on into this, we're going to see how he doesn't really talk at all about anything related to getting the government out of straight marriage. He doesn't seem to want to give up the benefits that he and his wife have from the government because of their marriage. So it doesn't seem like he applies this across the board. One thing I've noticed about Ben Shapiro, especially as I'm reading his book, is that his political beliefs tend to be whatever benefits him personally the most. It doesn't, like, he says he has a consistent conservative ideology, but his ideology is really just, what do I want the world to be like? I'm gonna just believe in whatever benefits me. He has a very self-centered view.
I think the government should be out of all marriage.
Fair enough.
I think the
I'll agree with
government
that.
stinks at this.
Sure.
You know, now I will say that. Do I think that? I think the idea of the government subsidizing gay marriage is silly because I don't think that there's societal benefit to gay marriage. If you're going to make the argument that...
Okay, before he goes on, I don't want to get copyright claimed, I can think of a few societal benefits to gay marriage real quick. Now, whether that's has to do with the government being involved in marriage at all, my point is I can see the same social benefits that you would see for a man and a woman getting married. You could adopt a child and have them grow up in a stable two-parent household. I think that is a great benefit. You could have, more people, I think more people overall living the life that they want to live just increases your morale and increases people's motivation, decreases depression, all of that. So I can see many social benefits, but go on.
I want a society in which I can do what I want and I don't have to care what you think, and you can do what you want, and
You seem to not want that because you seem to not agree with people being able to be trans, but okay.
you don't have to care what I think.
Right.
That doesn't mean you get to come into my synagogue and get married. It also doesn't mean that I have to go to your gay wedding.
I highly doubt anyone who is getting married to the same gender has ever invited Ben Shapiro to their wedding. Ben, you weren't invited to the gay wedding in the first place.
As far as the secondary argument about let's take the predicate that government is now involved in marriage.
Yeah.
Should government subsidize gay marriage and straight marriage the same way?
Yes.
My answer is no, because
Why?
the only purpose for the government getting involved in marriage is the procreation of the next generation and the race.
Okay, so Ben, if it's all about having children, if you are infertile, should the government not be allowed to subsidize your marriage? Should you not get benefits of, like, filing taxes jointly and all of the benefits that legally come with marriage if you are infertile? If you have gotten yourself sterilized intentionally before marriage, should you not be allowed to get that then too? Or is this literally just the fact that you don't like gay people? I'm just saying, if that's truly what you believe, if you truly believe that the only reason the government should ever get involved in marriage is to incentivize the procreation of children, then anyone who doesn't have children should lose those benefits, right? That would, like, I don't agree with that, but I think that that would be a next logical step if you're going to make this argument. But I think Ben Shapiro just wants to be provocative and annoy people to get clicks.
Raising of that generation. And it's my belief that a man and a woman do a better job of raising a child and producing children, obviously.
Wait. You said they do a better job of raising a child. You said it is my belief. Doesn't that mean that if it's your belief, that the government should not have any involvement in it on that basis alone? It's your belief that a man and a woman do a better job of raising a child, but you have no proof. You have not given us any source or even any anecdotal example of that. And you just think the government should follow what you want? I thought you just said you were a libertarian and wanted, like, this doesn't make any sense, Ben. Like, literally, I think he actually just hates gay people. That's gotta be what this is. And here he seems to be talking about raising children, not just physically procreating. So if Ben's argument here is basically that, no, the government should still provide, the same services to straight couples who get married because, they could adopt a kid even if they're infertile and that kind of thing. Well, so can a gay couple, but Ben is over here just saying, it is my belief that they don't do as good a job of raising a kid. Like, where did that come from? There's literally no proof of that. That's just you. This is just you being prejudiced.
The government theoretically has an interest in the production of the next generation.
Right.
Right? That's the only interest in marriage. So, in fact, you could even make a case that the government ought to be giving, basically tax benefits for having kids, and no benefit for marriage.
Hit you some nuts. There was lots of memes. Makes me wonder if I should pick up lesbianism. Chicago, you guys asked for it.
Now let's take a look at this video called Ben Shapiro Takes the Political Compass Quiz. Right, because Ben Shapiro was earlier identifying as a libertarian, saying that the government should not be involved in a lot of things. However, then he does seem to take on more authoritarian views when they benefit him specifically. And I'm excited for him to take this test specifically because I'm working on a book review of one of his books right now, and in that book review, I'm going to be discussing the political compass a little bit and talking about how his views kind of shift which quadrant they're in based on what point he's making at that moment and don't seem to have consistency. All right, Drunk Ben, take it away.
There's this very popular test online. It's called the
There's a
Political
very popular test
Compass
online.
Test.
The Political Compass Test.
It scans on two separate axes. Economic globalization is inevitable. It should primarily serve humanity rather than the interests of transnational corporations. Did Bernie Sanders write this question?
Oh my God, Ben, you're not funny!
Ask question, seriously.
It is a stupid ass
Transnational
question.
corporations, which are responsible through the use of free market capitalism for the dramatic decrease of poverty throughout humanity, are now opposed to humanity? So the very phraseology of the question is idiotic, but
phraseology.
I'd always support my country whether it was right or wrong. I disagree with that.
That's fair.
I
would agree with Ben on that one.
What if your country is terrible?
Because what if your country is terrible? He's so good.
No one chooses his or her country of birth, so it's foolish to be proud of it. And I generally agree that it's silly to be proud of just where you were born. You should be proud of the country because the country actually doesn't suck. Disagree. I don't think that it should be legal, but I think that it's very difficult to draw regulation that is not too heavy-handed in this area. I don't think you have a right to pornography, though. I don't think there's an inherent right to pornography. What goes on in a private bedroom between consenting adults is no business of the
Strongly
state.
agree.
Strongly agree.
Yes!
No one can
Yes! Ben Shapiro says no kink shaming! Ben Shapiro says no kink shaming, guys!
These days, openness about sex has gone too far. Strongly agree, and if you disagree, it's because I'm not sure you're a sentient human.
I think he disagrees because I'm a gay loser! That's why I disagree. Ben Shapiro thinks I'm a gay loser. Confirmed. The question is not worded well. The question is also worded, like, I have a problem with the way the question's worded on this test. And I have taken this test before. Pretty sure I got leftist libertarian, and I will probably take it again and get the same thing at some point because I don't remember it that well. But that question about has sexual openness gone too far, that's a stupid question because it's like, I thought this question was supposed to be about political compass, right? Which has to do with what you think policy should be. So whether or not you think something or you don't like something, if you dislike something but think it should be legal. So I don't completely understand why that question's even on here, because you can think sexual openness has gone too far but not care about any type of regulation or government getting involved in that. So I really don't get what that's even about.
The only question here that I'm kind of torn on is the pornography question, and that's only because it's a question of gradation. I'm really wavering between disagree and agree on the legality for the adult population, because again, is it harming third parties? Generally, no.
I kind of like seeing Ben Shapiro work through his thought process. I like seeing him question his beliefs here. This is actually kind of cool. Ben, you should do this more often.
I guess I'll say agree.
Yes! Ben Shapiro said porn is legal. Ben Shapiro said sex workers' rights. Ben Shapiro said subscribe to the OnlyFans, girl. He's gonna hate me misrepresenting him like this. This is why he acts this way in the first place, but I can't help it. I'm getting excited.
56 million views within 48 hours of release. This is a deeply important piece of American art that we should all pay attention to.
I'm paying attention, Ben.
It is deeply empowering. As a sympathetic human being, I just want to make sure these ladies get the care they need. My
Ben is a sympathetic human being.
wife's medical advice is that they go to a gynecologist ASAP, and that they do whatever checks are necessary for bacterial vaginosis.
Ben Shapiro saying my doctor wife doesn't understand why their pussy is so wet. Ben, that is not the own you think it is.
Whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. Hold up. Wet ass P word. Make that pull-out game weak. P word. P word is female genitalia. It continues along these lines. Yeah, you effing with some wet ass P word. Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet ass P word. This sounds like there's something that is going on here that is not biologically normal.
Ben, if you think... Ben Shapiro says it is not biologically normal for women's vaginas to get wet.
And by the way, this song is so unsexy that it frankly sounds like somebody describing what amounts to a serious condition that requires the care of a doctor. Fortunately, I know a doctor, who's my wife. And so I asked her for
Dude, Ben loves that his wife is a doctor.
hop on top, I want to ride. I do a Kegel while it's inside. Spit in my mouth, look in my eyes.
Thank you all so much for joining me here for this very silly video today. I hope you all enjoyed it. I will have another more serious video coming on Friday where I will be talking a little bit more about argumentation and rhetoric, and I think I'm going to be doing a video on Jordan Peterson. I have a bunch of videos that are in the works and are coming soon, so I hope you guys are ready. I have a lot of stuff I'm putting out. Before you go, don't forget to subscribe to my second channel, Your Morning Guru, which I have linked in the description below. Every morning at 8 a.m. Central, I come on with RK and we do a live stream together where we live like various business gurus and try to emulate their morning routines and see what works and what doesn't and things like that. So definitely come check that out. So if you want to be there, I'll see you tomorrow morning. Otherwise, I'll see you Wednesday night or Friday morning whenever I see you next. Don't forget to support small businesses in the meantime, and have a great Monday, friends.
Hit you some nuts.
There was lots of memes.
Makes me wonder if I should take up lesbianism.
Chicago.
You guys asked for it.